It's been going real good. I'm kind of ups. I don't really like the comp beast that wins all the comps and all that. You know, I don't really like
Right.
that. I would for other people to win some things too. But you know, right now
Mm-hmm.
we have a comp beast in there and Tucker. So
Yeah, we do. So, I
yeah,
mean, I think how we got here has been pretty interesting. There's a couple people's game I really like, and there's a couple people game that I hate that are playing a horrible game.
yeah,
So I guess let's kind of talk a little bit about how did we get here. I mean, I know that Angela has been chaos in the house since day one. She went to war with Matt because I guess she thought he was too good looking or something like that.
yeah,
Not really a good reason. She, talked about his moms and his dad and made him cry, which I was
yeah,
like, come on, man, you really crying because the old lady said something off deck? But everybody has feelings, so
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, Angela had the house in the palm of her hands when she
she
won
did.
the she won the first HOH. She had a whole squad of people coming up there trying to make a team with her. Because the
Cedric and
committee,
Quinn.
yeah, well, the committee, not just them, it was a whole group. And the committee was going to start off with her being in it. She was going to really be the centerpiece of it, but she let all that stuff get to her head and thinking everybody's against her, and she really messed herself up at that point. I'm
Yeah,
surprised she's still in the game.
that kind of goes into me for Quinn. I mean, this is his game starting off terrible at the beginning, telling her all the inside information, which she wouldn't believe. And he kind of started making too many alliances from the beginning. Then we get Kenny, who quit. Reminded me of Celebrity Big Brother. I mean, for people who are fans of the show, and I know you hope to go on the show one day, how does it make you feel to watch a dude that get this opportunity and then just quit?
Yeah, well, two things. One, to get the opportunity to quit is just terrible because there's other people that would love to be on the show who would never quit. And then for you to actually get on there and you're there for a couple weeks and I think it was the first week. I miss my family, and I'm like, yo, your family is your family. They will be there when you get back. Go win this money. Stop tripping. What are you doing?
You trying to
Uh,
win 750,000?
yeah, that mess is ridiculous. I just can't be away, man. You should have never went. You took a spot from somebody else. So it was just ridiculous. And the other part that you were talking about with Quinn, I actually think Quinn started off all right.
Okay,
He made, huh?
I said okay.
Yeah, yeah. Quinn to me started off good. He was in alliance with everybody. He was doing his
Mm-hmm.
thing. What
Mm-hmm.
hurt Quinn is just he talks too much.
Hey, it's an old Run DMC song. You talk too much. You never shut up. They should
Yeah,
be playing that for Quinn.
yeah. He just overplayed. He just talks way too much. So that hurt. He hurt his game.
Definitely. And I kind of think when you look at that phase of the game and that beginning part, you start to see the cracks, right? Cedric tried to work with Angela. And again, I can't stand the quitting, bro. Like that was what turned me off on Celebrity Big Brother is watching
Yeah,
Ron Artest quit, watching Lamar Odom quit. I'm like, man, what are y'all even doing here if y'all all gonna quit? So that turned me off because for a minute I thought about maybe rooting for Kenny because he's an older dude and maybe he could, find
yeah,
a way to stick in there. But I didn't understand his immense loyalty to Matt. You only known the guy for a week, and you ready to throw
yeah.
your whole game away for a person you know in a week.
$750,000 for a person you know in a week. That really outside this probably would
You may
never
never
talk.
even talk to again.
Talk to him again. That was just crazy.
Right. So then we get to kind of one of my favorite evictions was Lisa because she didn't see it coming. She didn't
Yeah.
notice. She's one of them people that you ever been around somebody that they're annoying, but they don't know they're annoying, but
Oh
everybody
yeah.
else in the room knows it.
Oh yeah.
You know,
All the time.
she didn't get invited to probably parties and stuff as a kid, and she never understood why because everybody thinks you're annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. And Lisa, with all the glitter and everything, like she would
Bruh.
ask you if you want glitter while she's putting it on your food. I'm like, don't you wait for the answer first?
So we got to pause right quick. So how would you take that? Now I know you real particular about your food and your personal space. If
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
on the show this season and she was sprinkling glitter on your head and all that stuff and on your food.
Well, first I would have told her not to do that. Second of all, she would have been my target right away, putting glitter on.
Just because of the glitter?
Yeah, now I'm not gonna blow up on her because this is $750,000. So I'm not gonna yell. I'm not gonna. oh, I can't stand you. No, I'm gonna keep my cool, but you're gonna be my target. And all that glitter, especially come around my food. I don't even like people to stand around me. I don't even want people to look at me while I'm eating my food. That's why I don't eat with anybody. I always eat by myself. I don't want to
Oh
look at you.
man.
I don't want to hear you. So yeah.
Don't even look at me.
Nah, don't even think about me while I'm eating my food.
You know, I used to be like that when I had an apartment, bro, before I was married. I used to be like, I don't want my neighbors looking at me. Don't do nothing. I'm gonna go in my apartment. You go in yours.
Yeah. I'm still
So
like that now.
then that brings us kind of current, man, where I mean, I think we kind of had a rumble in the house, you know. I think with Tucker challenging Cedric, and I thought it was crazy because one, he challenged Cedric because Cedric's shorter than him and appears to be smaller than him. The part he doesn't know is that Cedric is a Marine and could probably think of like 6 different ways to break that man's neck.
Yeah.
So, and I really applaud Cedric because he kept his cool the whole time. So kind of break that down, man. What were you seeing when you saw that confrontation where, you know, Tucker was, and I've seen Tucker been pushing everybody to do his moves and his
Yeah.
bidding. He did it to Chelsea. He did it to Angela. I mean, he's done it to basically everybody to do his bidding.
Yeah.
And he tried it with Cedric and it didn't go so far. So tell me your thoughts of what you saw when that went down.
Yeah, well, I mean, Cedric already warned him, hey, look, I'm not going to put, Quinn up. He already warned him it's not a good idea. We don't have the vote. He actually told him not to.
Mm-hmm.
And Tucker just wants things to go his way. If Tucker wants to make a move or something he calls a big move
Mm-hmm.
or he wants things to always go his way. He just doesn't listen to anybody else. So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Tucker was at fault. Cedric, I like the way he, kept his composure.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't really like Tucker trying to bully him. I mean, he just did that because he saw Cedric was smaller. If that was Matt, he wouldn't have came at Matt like,
No.
just because Matt's a bigger guy. Even though Matt may not even be as knowledgeable in fighting or as
Oh,
Cedric is,
tough.
or as tough as Cedric is, but just because of Matt's size, Tucker's just not going to come at him like,
Yeah, he didn't
you
even
know.
he had a conflict with Cam and he didn't swell up at Cam like that.
No, he's not going to. Oh man, people know. I mean, he picks and chooses. So yeah, I didn't really like that too much. I hate that Cedric got voted out of the house. They flipped it on him and he got voted out. But Cedric made a bad mistake. You don't volunteer to go on the block. That was
Exactly.
yeah, he destroyed his own game by doing that. That was terrible.
Exactly. That was one of the things me and my wife said we were watching the show. Like, why would you volunteer to go on the block?
Yeah.
And, you know, it, Tucker kind of gave me vibes of CT. Remember CT from the challenges?
Yeah, I remember
He used to
CT.
go around bullying people at the beginning.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that. And I'm like, it's not like y'all really gonna fight because y'all both would get eliminated. So what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So
Although CT actually did, he beat up
right, he did fight
smaller
people,
dude. Yeah,
but
he
he would
always
always
did.
fight somebody he knew he could beat too. He didn't fight
Yeah.
guys that he.
Because when Terrell Owens stepped to him, he just sat there. He didn't do anything. So he
He
was like,
said he was
oh.
quiet. He had nothing to say.
Yeah, he was like, oh, yeah, that would have been somebody small like the Adam kid he beat up. He would have been all in his face. But Terrell Owens, he messed with him.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a number of guys he ain't gonna step to. But
No.
anyway, I think part of also what I noticed where Cedric's fatal flaw was you also can't put yourself in that situation and you don't win.
Yeah.
He had 2 competitions and lost both of them badly, especially the last one where Mackenzie came up with the win. And I think it was a big win for Mackenzie. She didn't really need it because she was never a target.
Oh, I don't. Nah, I
Well,
disagree.
I still think had it been between Mackenzie and Cedric, I still think he was in a lot of trouble for the house to flip. That's just my personal opinion.
If Mackenzie didn't, because there was people that didn't really want Cedric to be the one to go.
Definitely.
If Mackenzie didn't win that, she would have been out the door. She had to win that. Now she didn't know this. She didn't know what was going on, but Mackenzie would have been out the door.
I
If she
still
would
think that Chemo would have tried to pull the fast one and get Cedric out. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but
So
they didn't want Cedric to go. They just didn't want to get Rubina out because they were going with the other side. But they still had they still didn't really want Cedric to go. The whole plan, Mackenzie would have been gone if she would, I think if she would have been on that block against anybody, she would have been gone. She's
I don't
saving
know,
her.
man. I think that would have been an interesting thing to see Mackenzie and Cedric up there
Yeah.
and make them choose. I don't know, man. Just my gut feeling. I still think that not Ravina, but I still think that T-Core and Chemo would have still pulled the fast one. So let's kind of get into that, man. This is where it gets interesting to me. So Cedric loses twice, which is, his own fault. He didn't win. He needed to win. And then you see T-Core and Chemo. And here's where we kind of get into Quinn as well. Quinn's game also ruined Cedric's game. One, because Quinn couldn't keep his mouth shut. He told Angela he had the power.
Yeah.
Then he told Chemo. And what did Chemo do? Chemo told the whole house, which forced him to use the power when he really didn't want to use it and lose one of his own players, which, again, if I'm Quinn, I wouldn't even put someone from my alliance up as a pawn. That doesn't make sense.
That's stupid.
I wouldn't even do that. I don't know what part of the game of Big Brother you playing. There's too many people left in the game to even be doing that right now.
Yeah, he didn't want to get any other blood on his hands and everything, but doing that, he's messed up.
Right. And I kind of feel like at this point, once the secret was out, it doesn't matter. The line in the sand's already been drawn, so we have that huge mistake. And then I feel like it's a mistake for T-Core to work with Chemo. He's already proven that he can't keep anything to himself.
Exactly. But I mean,
he can't hold water.
Yeah, well, T-Core, Chemo, and Quinn, were close from the beginning. But T-Core and Chemo were closer, but they still had Quinn with them. But once Quinn went to them and told them about
the Pentagon.
Yeah, told them about the Pentagon, and they're not in it. They were like, oh, so Quinn's going over making other factions without us,
right. So another huge mistake.
Yeah, so then and that's why Cedric wound up getting voted out. Because it would have been Rubina or somebody, but that's why Cedric got voted out, because Quinn he thought that, hey, if I tell them about this other group that I'm in, they're gonna know that I'm really with them because I'm telling them about this. No, he just messed up his game, and the committee basically is about to be over.
This was my thing. I don't know, why did Quinn even tell them about the Pentagon? There was no issue with trust with those guys. Exactly. I don't even understand why he even told that secret. That never made any sense.
Yeah, he's overplaying. He was well insulated. He had the Pentagon, the committee. He brought them together. He was well insulated. Nobody was talking about who was the Pentagon, who was the committee.
Right.
It was a big group all together, and he was insulated in the middle, and he messed himself up by talking.
So. And what was crazy, he had just got out of the debacle of telling about his power. Yeah. He had just got out of that debacle about everybody finding out. Yeah. So there was no reason to really share anything else.
Just stupid. And he's still doing stuff. He's still doing stuff because, he got put on the block. This last time. He got put on the block. But still, Tucker is not actually going after Quinn. Tucker really wanted the other girl.
Yeah. We'll get there in a second. So here's kind of where I guess I was disappointed. I wanted to see how far the Pentagon could go because I thought it was a good alliance. I was intrigued to see some form of cookout possibly working again, but in a different way, because they really weren't loyal to each other. It was just like, if I can look out for you, I will. But I'm not going to be necessarily going after you right now. So I thought that was cool. And then with T-Core, I was just like, yo, you playing the perfect game. Her and Cam are completely under the radar. Like, you everybody's friend. So there was no need for no massive move. And then to say that you're on the bottom of the alliance, after you find out about the Pentagon, that doesn't make sense. You're on the bottom of the alliance with Tucker, and you kept a showmance in the house. So by sending Cedric out, you kept a showmance in the house. And then I'm confused by a couple people's game. So I already told you, I don't know what game Chemo's doing. I think he just wants to tell everybody something. He wants to just make moves for the sake of moves.
Yeah.
So I would never follow him. So I don't know, what game do you think he's playing? And how do you think he's playing a good game?
No, he's not playing a good game. He was good being a part of the committee. I don't know why they turned on that team to be with Tucker, because they're still at the bottom. T-Core and T-Core are still at the bottom. They left the other group because they're at the bottom to go be at the bottom of a smaller group. You know?
Right.
it just
And
doesn't.
you had possibly what the head of the group or the second in charge as your ace in your group.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
and then that brings me to someone we talking about playing a horrible game that voted Cedric out. What is Joseph doing? I don't know what game he's playing.
Well, Joseph is not really playing a terrible game. Joseph is really because like I can't
You
really say Joseph's playing a terrible game because if you look at it, nobody in the house is targeting Joseph.
right? You think he's just trying to exist?
Yeah,
He's
and
floating.
he yeah, and I think he's doing a good job.
We had a little hiccup. Yeah, man. So you talking about Joseph, man? You said you think he's doing a good job of floating right now.
Strength. That's what Joseph.
That's what he said.
He's not really loyal to anybody, but people are not looking at him to put him on the block to get him out. They're not targeting him. Like right now, he's in good with Tucker. He's in
Right.
real good with Tucker right now.
Right.
So he's just seeing, ebbs and flows, just seeing what's going on, and he's following the power. So he's doing a good job of it. If you're not being targeted, you're doing good.
I will say this though, Cedric must have had a really good social game because it looked like them people really were sad to see him go and to vote him out. They looked like they were. That didn't look like acting. They looked like they was that upset to kick him out that house.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to go. Like Cedric really was supposed to go. T-Core and Chemo and Quinn messed up Cedric. Quinn initially messed up Cedric, but T-Core and Chemo, flipping, that really, really, messed his game up and sent him out. So, I didn't want to see him go either. I wasn't sad. I wasn't crying or nothing, but
well, I mean, no, but you also ain't been in the house with the guy 24/7
yeah,
to possibly build a friendship either. So,
but I definitely didn't want to see him go. I wanted him to, to keep going. I like Cedric. I like his attitude. I like the way he played the game.
yeah, I thought he did well. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him get invited back. This remind me of a couple other players that kind of got sent out a little too early that have been invited back and then maybe did a little bit better. Like I remember David was one. I remember meeting him here in Atlanta, and I was like, "Dog, you was on the show for like 5 minutes, and you was out. You never even got a chance to play."
Yeah,
I mean, he did a little better his second time around.
No, David was a terrible player. When the second, yeah, he was.
No, I said the second time around. At least it wasn't the first day.
Yeah, but he was terrible when the second
time.
Right,
but no, I wasn't saying he was a better player. I'm just saying he did a better job hanging around.
Yeah,
he didn't. He at least hung around for a little while. The first time
for a little while because Davon and
right.
Bailey were there and they were looking out for him and stuff like that. But he was a terrible player
and made a horrible decision to go against Davon. But that's a story for another day. I was just saying that he's one of them guys that people felt like, hey, I want to see him a little bit longer, and he got a chance to come back. Hopefully, Cedric makes that list as well.
Mm-hmm.
So then we talk about Cedric gets voted out. Then we get to Tucker winning HOH, which I pretty much knew this was going to happen. This is one thing about CBS editing. Every time somebody says, I'm going to crush it and I'm going to get Mike Brown and I'm going to destroy this person, I'm going to go after that guy because Mike put me on the block, every time that person loses. That's not going to be the one that wins.
Yeah, they're not going to win.
And what's funny is the one that always says it first, they're normally like the first or second person out.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it was a season. I don't even remember the young lady's name, but she used to always say how she was going to go after everybody, and she tired of not knowing anything. Literally, she was out first every time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they kept her to like 5 because they knew at any point they could beat her, so she was never a threat.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I thought the wall competition was very entertaining, man. Especially when it got towards the end. I give Rabina mad props. She stayed on the wall a long time. And then Cam, man, for a guy his size, he did pretty good to stay up there that long. He really tried to win.
He did. Cam, and I was going to ask you about him. What do you think about Cam's game so far?
I mean, I think Cam's playing a great game because for him to be such a big dude, nobody's really like looking at him as a threat. Like he's quiet. He plays a good social game. He's doing pretty good. I think I'm glad he toned it down. We're trying to get some sort of showman's going with Leah. I'm glad he toned that down.
Yeah,
Like, stay
because
focused, bro.
I hear a lot of people saying Cam's playing a bad game. He's not winning anything. But honestly, I think he's playing a good game. If he was actually out there winning stuff, Cam would have been out this house a long time ago. He would have been
Right.
one of the first couple out. Right now, like Cam's on the block right now, but
Mm-hmm.
nobody is targeting Cam. They're looking
Mm-hmm.
over Cam. They're like, he's not going to win anything. He doesn't win. He's not good at any of this stuff. That's what they're thinking. And
Mm-hmm.
and they're and they're not voting him out. Usually somebody that looks like Cam, there's a guy with, a little bit of muscle or anything like that, may look athletic. They're trying to get you out. But Cam,
Yeah, because I think he's a former football player. I think the dude's like, what, 6'2", 6'3", something like that?
something like that.
Yeah. So,
No.
he reminds me of Xavier. Xavier would be, he played low, and he only
Yeah.
won when he absolutely needed to, and then turned it on at the end.
Exactly.
So, it seems like Cam's kind of playing that same game.
Yeah.
So, then we get, Quinn, which I got to give Quinn his props, man. He put on a hell of an effort on that wall competition.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really thought he was gonna win because he's such a light dude. So I'm like, and then I kept being like, why does he keep bending over? Like, you making it harder. Stop
Yeah.
bending over.
Oh yeah.
But that was a hell of a fight he put up against Tucker, man. I got to give him all the props in the world on that. For one of the people to say they're gonna fight and they're gonna try to win, he did all of that.
Yeah. I wanted him to win. I wanted Quinn to win. I'm tired of seeing Tucker win. I really didn't want him to do it, but he won, and now Quinn's on the block.
Right. And to be honest, I think the house has basically set Tucker up to win this game easily. If they don't get him out within maybe the next 2 weeks, it's over.
Mm-hmm. I think if that BBAI arena stays around, Tucker's gonna fly through this thing. I
Right.
think eventually that's got to go away for Tucker to be able to lose. You can't give him two chances. If he has two chances to win, he's going to get off the block every time. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I think let's talk about some of the people who maybe have started off rough but fixed their game. Mackenzie started off very rough, man. And I think she's, finally kind of started to right the ship a little bit. What you think?
yeah, she's doing a little better. She's starting to, she didn't have any factions. She didn't have any, team, to be. Now she's starting to talk more game with people. Ever since she won, and got herself off the block. Now she's starting to talk more game, and she's getting a little more involved. So, yeah, I think Mackenzie, she's going to be all right. She's going to be all right. She's not being targeted, so.
Right. And she finally got over Matt. And again, I was like, yo, man, it's been a week. Why are you ready to start this much trouble over somebody been here a week? I don't understand what's happening here.
Exactly. Matt's gone. Let him be gone. Try to win the money.
Hey, you'll see him at the reunion.
Yeah, you'll see him at the reunion. Maybe y'all have a little something later, or maybe not.
Right. It's interesting too because the show's been a little bit light on showmances. I know Leah and Quinn flirt with each other, and we know that Rabina. Yeah, Tucker and Rabina. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the main ones.
They're the real showmans. I don't know that the other one's really a showmance. I think she's just bored and she wants attention.
Yeah, but Tucker and Rabina, they're basically a showmans right now.
Right. So
usually showmances get targeted, but right now
I don't know. Yeah, they're looking the other way.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Get them out.
So what do you think about Chelsea's game, man? I think she started off rough. Remember, she started off with a disadvantage. She didn't get to play. Then won HOH. She seems to be playing a pretty decent game.
Well, see, Chelsea's, she's been playing an all right game, but Chelsea is looked at as a leader a little bit. And what happens with that is leaders, people who look like they got power like that amongst other people, they get voted out. So I think Chelsea winning that HOH, I think that may have hurt her more than helped her, because now they're like, oh, we got to pick somebody out that can win things, somebody that's strong. So Chelsea may not be here much longer, I think.
Yeah. I think I can't prove it, but I wouldn't be surprised she threw the wall comp just to kind of tone the attention down on herself.
Yeah, she may have, but she already won one. She probably thought nobody was, coming after her. But if you look at it, not too many people are winning things. just
Right.
Tucker's really
Just
winning most
Tucker.
of the stuff. So if they got to
Tucker
think
and
of
Angela.
yeah, Tucker and Angela. So if they got to think of somebody other than Tucker and Angela who's actually winning something, you're like, well, Chelsea won. So I
Right.
mean, she's kind of setting herself up. I don't know if she's going to be in much longer unless she can, make sure she gathers some more people around her because the committee and that stuff is going away.
Definitely.
They're falling apart. So
Somebody I think is also playing a good game is Leah. I mean, she's really under the radar.
yeah, she is. She's real under the radar. Like she's so far under the radar that I
You don't even know she's on the show.
yeah. Sometimes you don't even know she's on the show. So I mean, that's good for her. That's good.
Yeah.
Let everybody else battle it out, fight it out. So I think she's doing a good job staying under the radar.
Every time I see her too, I think it's what Brittany. I'll be feeling like, yo, you look just like her. Like y'all look like the same person almost.
You talking about Brittany from the season with the cookout?
No, maybe I'm thinking about the wrong person then.
Yeah, because she don't look like her.
Because I
They
can't think of her name because she was on the Christmas season here recently.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
I can't think of her name, but they look like the same person.
Yeah,
it looks like Control C, Control V paste.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because the lady I'm thinking about is older than her too now because she's been on the show like 3 times. No, not Janelle. Not Janelle.
Not Janelle. Okay, I was like, now
she's been on the show 3 times. So here, let's look. Big Brother Christmas. Yeah, Brittany Haynes.
Oh, that Brittany. Okay, yeah, I know you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
can't really see her in the.
Well, I can't see your thing
in the camera, but yeah, that's her.
I'm not gonna be able to see it. It's too much to glare on it.
Yeah, but that it looks.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they favor each other a little bit.
When I first saw it, remember when Rachel's sister was on the game when she came to Big Brother? Yeah. I just knew that was like her secret that she's related to her in some way.
I mean, it could be.
But I guess not. So, all right. So, who else is playing a good game? I think that's it. I mean, we said Cam. Quinn is still all over the place. Well, obviously Tucker because he keeps winning, so.
I don't know if that's a good game because Tucker basically has to continue to win.
Yeah, because he's made an enemy of everybody.
Yeah, he's got a. Well, I can't really say he's made an enemy of everybody because there's people befriending him, but Tucker.
He's a loose cannon.
No, he just has to keep winning because he's won so much, and everybody knows if they go to the end, Tucker, they're not going to be able to beat Tucker.
Right.
At the end. So, I mean, he's going to have to keep winning or people are going to vote him out. So, I think his game is actually not going good at this point.
You think Angela has improved or written the ship, like, basically?
Kind of. Angela, she's I don't think people are really thinking about the Angela blow up right now. They're thinking about a whole lot of other things. So really, Angela can really go under the radar right now. As long as she doesn't blow up again and start acting crazy, she can actually slide under the radar for a little while. So I think Angela, believe it or not, even though she should have been out by now, I think she's going to make jury. So
what's interesting is I don't think anybody really wants to work with her. They just keep her around because they like, we need the vote. And on top of that, we can always circle back and get her out.
Yeah, well, Angela is part of a new group.
True, because she begged her way into it.
Yeah, she begged her way into it.
Can I please join y'all's group? Can I please sit at your lunch table? That's basically what she just did.
Yeah, exactly. But it's another number for them.
True.
And they can go after the other side. They don't need to add anybody else now. They just need to continue just go after the other side. I mean, Angela and Tucker, they got the two.
Well, they added Joseph. I think that's enough.
Yeah, and they got 2 people that are winning everything. Angela and Tucker. They got the 2 big powerhouses right there. So they can just wipe out the rest of everybody else, and then go after each other.
It's interesting when she come around because everybody's on eggshells because they know like she'll blow up over the smallest thing. So you can tell everybody watches what they say around her.
Yeah, most definitely.
They didn't want to say yes, but they didn't have a choice really.
Yeah, and she's a real estate agent. I wonder if she acts like this, like in real life. You know, it's crazy.
Yes. Remember, she said that do you remember at the beginning of the show? She said she's the fun mom.
Yeah, yeah. I remember that.
So she's probably the parent that like lets the kids drink at her house.
Probably.
And the
Yeah.
parent that says a lot of inappropriate stuff when your friends come over.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So we talked about who's having a good game. Here's some games that may be bad or a little bit, I'm not sure what you're doing. I think we said earlier with Chemo, I don't know what he's doing. I think he's just doing stuff because he's a fan of the show and he wants
Yeah.
to say he went on the show and did these certain things. That's
Yeah.
what I feel like I'm watching.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're a fan of the show, you kind of mess yourself up because there's a lot of different things you want to do, and you
Mm-hmm.
you want to backstab, and you want to do this and do that,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of messes you up. You know, right now, you know, he's got T-Core. And
Right.
I mean, he's over there with Tucker and them, but he's at the bottom. So
Right.
I mean, I don't really think he's really in a good spot. You know, he
Mm-mm.
was in a good spot, and he took himself out of that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because Quinn was going to have his back 100%.
Right.
You know, they were all. So I think he's really messed himself up, and you know, of course, Quinn messed himself up big time.
Well, here's the thing with Chemo. Why would you backstab somebody when they tell you a secret? That's them telling you that, hey, we are the
Exactly.
real three. They're just
Mm-hmm.
going to get us the final three.
Yeah, and
So
that.
I don't, when your brain, where would that tell you that you're at the bottom when the person is telling you, hey, we're
Yeah.
inside of this bigger group. We're just riding it out for now, and then we'll get rid of them later.
Yeah, that was a terrible, terrible move. Him and T-Core. I'm not just putting it on Chemo. T-Core
Right.
made
Because
a
you
terrible,
followed him.
yeah, followed him and went along with it, and she was one of the main ones too. So yeah, they both terrible moves. I think they both. T-Core's game was great at the beginning, and I think
Right.
she destroyed her game. T-Core, Chemo, Quinn, they all destroyed their game.
Well, I think some of it, they're all fans. And it seems like sometimes when people get bored, they just start doing stuff. And it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like Quinn just telling everybody his business all the time.
Yeah,
You
just
know,
ridiculous.
right.
Just ridiculous. But you know, Tucker's a fan too. And
He
Tucker,
is.
yeah, and he's going to wind up doing something to mess his game up. It's worked for him so far, but he
Mm-hmm.
keeps trying to do things unnecessarily. Like if people are on the block, oh, I'm going to take this person off the block and put this.
Right. He wants everybody to do his bidding too.
Yeah, he's doing things unnecessarily, and eventually he's going to make a mistake. And when he does, they're going to get him out the house.
What do you think about Brooklyn's game?
Brooklyn? Brooklyn's game might be coming to an end anyway.
Yeah.
This Thursday on the live show. If she's still on the block come this Thursday, I think
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn's going to be the one getting voted out. So I can't really say her game is a good game because she's on the block probably about to get voted out. But
She's done pretty good for you know, she's older. She's not young like the rest of the kids, but she seems to be able to relate with them like Angela can. I think Angela's older than her too, but
yeah,
she's done a good job relating with the younger people and not coming off like the old fogey that they don't want to work with.
yeah.
I just need her to control her temper. Like her temper, like when she got into it with Angela, that was completely unnecessary.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Sometimes if somebody slights you, you don't need to let them know they slighted you. You could just keep that in the back of your pocket and throw it out when you need it. Or when they're getting evicted, that's when you say the little zinger. You
Yeah,
don't need to say it until then. So
exactly.
when she
But you
felt like
know,
Angela was targeting her and calling her out over and over again, even if you validated that, you don't even let her know that you know that.
yeah. Well, you know, the thing that showed me that her game wasn't good, you know, because I didn't really know whether she was playing a good game or a bad game. It was just kind of in between. But when I found out that her game wasn't good, it was when they had that vote when they when they voted out Cedric,
Mm-hmm.
and she was on the wrong side of that. She got blindsided. If
Right.
you're there, and if you're on the wrong side of it, that means everybody else they're having these discussions about. That means they're making teams. There's new groups, new factions, and you're not a part of that conversation. So that lets me know that your game is not a good game. You
Well,
know,
that
and
happened to her, and it happened to
yeah, there's 3 of
Chelsea
them.
and Cam. They all end up in that situation.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said the same thing about Chelsea earlier. I was like, I don't think her game is. It seemed like it was good, but little things like looking like the leader, stuff like that, and she won the
Hmm.
HOH. I think that's going to lead to her demise in this game, and she's not going to be here much longer. Just like Brooklyn's probably not going to be here much longer.
I
So
tell you this, man, this is kind of interesting for me when I sit back and watch the show. I will say they've done a good job mixing it up. The show doesn't feel stale, because for a little while it felt a little stale.
yeah,
They've done a
yeah,
good job with the diversity of the cast.
hmm
So I will say the CBS is really trying to improve the product and has in a lot of ways.
yeah,
So now I'm excited to see who's going to win next. Like, who do I think is going to win the whole thing?
hmm
I do think that Tucker is in more trouble than what he realizes,
yeah,
because he's made so many enemies. He's also turned it possibly where pretty soon it's only going to be ladies left in the house because he's he's got rid of all the guys and not even paying attention
yeah,
to that.
yeah.
So,
Exactly. It's going to be all ladies in a minute. Um,
mhm.
I mean, Brooklyn could go out. That's one of the ladies, but in a minute, it's going to be all ladies in there, and that's why I think Tucker's not going to make it because eventually he's going to make a mistake, and I think those ladies are going to get together and get him out. So,
Yeah, so we'll see. So I want to
yeah.
know, man, who's your favorite right now? Who are you really pulling for to win the game?
Ooh, that's kind of a hard one right now. Because the person that I really was kind of rooting for is out now. It's Cedric, and I wanted
Mm-hmm.
Kenny. If he wasn't, I want to leave. If he wasn't acting like that, I would have hoped that he was, going to make it to the end. I'm not front man. Even though he messed his game up, I really like Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
I still
He
like
can
Quinn.
redeem himself.
Yeah, he can redeem himself, but I like Quinn. I think Quinn is an interesting player, and I think he can bring a lot to the game, uh, and he can make it very interesting. So I hope that he continues, even if he doesn't win. I hope he continues to stay in there and make it close, at least close to the end, and keep it interesting. So I like
Same,
Quinn.
because I think it's a huge, huge mistake for Tucker to lead him in the game.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because Quinn's going to think of something else, and he's going to get Tucker out. If Tucker doesn't get him out right now, yeah, that's a mistake for Tucker. But Tucker's got, in his mind, he's the greatest and he can win everything.
Bro, this is Big Brother. It's not Survivor. You can't bully your way to the end. You can't do
Exactly,
that, bro. I will
exactly.
say this though. I would like to see Chelsea and her squad try to
Mhm.
reel in Mackenzie and Leah to give themselves a
Yeah.
chance.
Oh yeah, most
It don't
definitely.
have to be forever, but we could. Right now, all of us are on the wrong side. So why don't we?
Yeah,
Why not work together?
yeah, exactly, exactly. But
So
they're gonna have to put something different together. I think the committee and Pentagon. I think all that
that's
is
done.
over with that
It's done.
name behind it. Yeah, it's done. They're gonna have to make something else.
So my favorite right now, hopefully stays in the game, is Cam. And then I would say my second favorite is Chelsea. I am
Yeah,
rooting for her. I like her game. But my favorite right now is Cam. I like how quiet and low key he is.
yeah,
So
he's a
I like
blower.
that. And I'm a big Quinn fan too. I like the way he's playing. I mean, even though it's messy, he's very
Yeah,
entertaining. He's very, very
yeah,
entertaining. And he's super smart.
but yeah. I'm gonna tell you, as much as like I'm not a Tucker fan, but as much as I would have loved to see him get voted out, earlier,
Mm-hmm.
I really need him to stay because he's the one really kind of bringing the controversy and bringing a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
stuff to the game. So I hate that he's winning so much, but it's he's making it interesting. So yeah.
Definitely. This is one thing I'll say that I'll before we get out of here, man.
hmm
This season has proved that you can be a villain without making it personal or without getting into disrespect. I
Oh
mean,
yeah. So,
we've had villains in the past that have said racial comments or
hmm
sexist comments. You could be a villain and be a jerk without doing any of that. And Tucker's proven that. And that can make for good TV. So,
yeah.
I got to give Tucker's props on that.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely. I mean, some stuff in the past. I mean, like one of the guys, I forgot his name, but he slapped Davon on the butt, and then she started
Right.
crying. You know,
Right.
it's like some people take that villain stuff too far.
Right. We've
You know,
seen people hit other people,
yeah, hit other people, all that.
right.
You know,
Make racial comments, all this crazy stuff, sexual comments. As I
exactly.
believe one of the guys hit somebody and he got put out, basically. Yeah.
All kind of stuff. I'm
Or
gonna tell you,
threaten people to fight them and stuff.
yeah. But I'm gonna tell you, even though we're talking about Big Brother 26, don't sleep on Canada. The Big Brother Canada is awesome. So don't
Well,
sleep
you
on
heard it
that.
here first from Mike the Expert. So y'all let us know how y'all feel. Who do y'all think is going to win the game? And how do you see it playing out? Who do you think is playing a great game? And who do you think is playing a terrible game? We love to hear from y'all. We appreciate all the support at Two Player Sports Podcast. Who knows? Maybe in the future, you'll see Mike the Expert on Big Brother. I hope so.
Man, I would love it. Most definitely.
Well, that's a story for another day. We go give Mike the Expert his big brother push to CBS to get him on the show.
Yes. Get me on, please.
Hey, we'll see y'all in the next one.
All right, peace.